Hi, I'm Eduarda, and I'm here to share with you my experience inside Love Addicts, which is an online therapeutical program specifically designed for people like me who live with anxious, insecure attachments. A little disclaimer: Love Addicts is not sponsoring these videos, and I'm only here to share my experience and not the contents of the program. I do hope that my journey can help someone else out there. Let's go. At around week 10, I was feeling better. And every time I say I was feeling better, like there are always ups and downs in that. But in general, I was just feeling better. I was like in a good routine and, just I was accomplishing a lot of things and like reaching a lot of my goals and feeling like life was really moving forward, feeling very satisfied with myself. And um also just feeling lighter, right? Because I had done like all the forgiving and I mean not all the forgiving, but I had like understood and forgiven certain things, especially myself, but also other people. And I didn't know this at week 10, but I would actually go through phases later on where I would actually go back to feeling a lot of anger and resentment, which is one of the reasons why, um, I eventually reached out to my ex to finish our unfinished business, but it took me more than half a year to do so. And it was because even though I was going through the programming Love Addicts and I was like always feeling better, then I like every week that went by, I felt better than the previous week and I had like more insights and I had more forgiveness to give like myself and my ex. And because I was healing like my past, so I was also healing like other relationships and also family relationships, and so much was happening. But I, even though I didn't know this at week 10, like I would actually go back to like over analyzing the relationship and feeling very, very angry. And then at other points I would like remember certain things and I would like be like there's no way I want to go back to that because I'm feeling so much better now. So like I, even the days that I wasn't angry with my ex, I really, really, really didn't want to talk to them because I was like, I'm doing so much better. And if I talk to them, I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't want to put to waste all the work that I've done, or like, I don't want to feel horrible again. So I would eventually go back to overanalyzing, fantasizing, overthinking about this, feeling very angry, feeling very, very resentful, at times even feeling guilty again. The thing is, like, when I went through all of that, after having gone through like about like half of the program in Love Addicts, because we're now in like, I'm now telling you about week 10. So allegedly, like, Love Addicts should have been 12 weeks, but I extended my time in there. So, like, even as I'm recording this video, I am still in the program and I've been in it for months because, and I'll talk about this in the next few videos, but I also had like a period of like a few weeks where I just couldn't do any work for Love Addicts because I was doing so much work for like uh the other course that I was doing, which has nothing to do with self-development, but I was like in a course and then I was applying for jobs and things just got crazy when I got to week 12, when it was like when I was supposed to be finishing the program. I was actually just like maybe a third of the way in the courses. I had like stopped using the program as much just because I was like so incredibly busy. But at week 10, because I had feeling been feeling so good and I didn't know yet that I wasn't going to feel great for like ever, although it is going to get to a good place. Like, I feel like I'm in a very good place right now, but like there were so many more ups and downs that I didn't expect because I was feeling so good in week 9 and 10. And I kind of like, I kind of knew actually that I was going to go through ups and downs because I could see the other people that had been in the program longer. Like, that's the great thing about having a community, is that, like, you're like, oh, like you can kind of see that, like, even though everyone goes through it in a different way, there are patterns, and you're like, oh, okay, like I can see how, like, um, how things might, work, like how things might unfold for me as well based on other people's experience. And but by week 10, I was like, okay, I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling so much stronger. And I I wanted to make myself even stronger, because I was like, okay, the way that I'm feeling, I'm probably going to be able to, like, conquer some of my goals. So I kind of like brought back the goal of, like, wanting to reach out to my dad. It was something like, okay, that's definitely something I want to do in the future. Don't know when, but like I want to be ready for it. I didn't want to get back together with my ex anymore, but I did want to reach out to them, and I wanted to see where they were at, because at this point, I had already realized how unsatisfying that relationship had been. And the one thing that I was absolutely sure of is that I did not want to go back to that relationship the way that it was. I did not want to go back to that person the way that they had been. Um, and like, every once in a while, I would remember something that happened between us, and I'd be like, oh my God, like, I never want to go through that again. Never want. Like, I almost had like this, like, flashes where I would be like, ugh, like it would hit me like a punch in the stomach, or like a tightness in the chest where I would be just like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I went through that. I cannot believe that I allowed this to happen. And even though I made so many mistakes, like, there were things that, like, this person did that hurt me, that to this day, I don't think that they needed to have done those things. I think like they were I, I think those were their mistakes, because like there's always mistakes from both sides, and I'm like, ugh, I think that that's a mistake on their part, and that actually hurt me a lot, and there's like no way I ever want to live through that again, and or ever want to be in that position again, or in that situation again. So I was very clear on that, which was already a big step. But I did feel curious, because we by this point we hadn't spoken in a few months, and I'll be like, I wonder if they're doing any growing. So like the same kind of like thought that I had at the beginning, but like a bit more conscious this time. Was like, okay, now months have gone by. I wonder if they miss me. I wonder if they have, done any sort of therapy, if they have, reached new conclusions. I wonder if they're ready to say sorry and like own up to their mistakes, I wonder if we're ever going to have like a mature conversation where we sort of like work out through the things that we've been through, because I still felt like that would be something very nice to do. Um, and I, but I was so, 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 so incredibly afraid of reaching out to my ex. And on the same capacity, I was afraid of reaching out to my dad. And even though like these are completely different relationships, they both seemed like they had the potential to sort of like destroy me if those conversations didn't go well. So even though I was feeling quite good by week 10, I wasn't yet feeling very brave or very confident. And again, because I was feeling so good, like I really didn't want to ruin that. And I was like, okay, like I have so much more energy, and I'm doing so well in the things that I'm doing, and I like my day-to-day routine is so pleasant, it's so joyful. Like I didn't want to do anything to ruin that, but I did want to kind of like get ready to be braver. So I kept on working in the Love Addicts platform. I also started at this point rejection therapy, which is something like not official. I don't actually know a lot about it, but you basically just like do things like, you might show up to like a mattress store and say like, "Oh, can I take a nap in one of your mattresses?" Where they're like obviously or like most likely going to say no. But you're basically you're putting yourself in situations where you are very likely to get a no from someone, because that then gives you it makes you like sort of accustomed to hearing no and to being rejected and to putting yourself in situations that are uncomfortable. Obviously, you do this very safely, but this is something that I started doing, and I'll upload a few videos that I very like weirdly recorded myself because I didn't want like the people that I was interacting with to realize that I was recording myself. But like you'll see the videos like and you can kind of tell what's happening. But I started doing rejection therapy, and I even shared about this in Love Addicts. So like again, like so great to have a platform where you can just say like, oh, like I have this things that I want to do in the future, like reaching out to a few people, and but I'm so afraid of like how things might happen or of like being rejected, and I don't want to like be crushed by it. So I'm like getting ready and I'm preparing myself. And then like I talked a little bit with some people in the community about rejection therapy, and in the end I ended up not doing a lot of it, but it was really like the experiences that I did go through were pretty great, and like talking to people inside the platform was kind of like what gave me the courage to go and do it. um, so yeah, so week 10 um, was about like starting to also try more daring things. Even though like I was already like putting myself out there to date, it was like a lot about um, doing things that were like that felt very uncomfortable so I could get out of my comfort zone even more. And I'll tell you in the next videos how everything unfolded. But it's, I definitely think like the reason why Love Addicts is 3 months, because like when you're getting close to being in there for 3 months, like you already feel such a big change, or at least for me, like I felt such a big change by like being in there nearly 3 months. And I can see even now, like that I'm months ahead of that, I can see even like the changes that I was feeling like between month 2 and 3. They're still with me. Like I've only improved on them. So I think like if you do have the time and you manage to do like Love Addicts in 3 months, like you can get amazing results, and you can like shift a lot and really like internalize the lessons that anxious attachment is trying to teach you, and like really shift into a more secure attachment style. But I think because I got really busy, and because I was doing something so important, like reaching out to my dad, which for me was like a really, really big thing because I hadn't spoken to him in like about a decade. It was really important for me to like have the option to extend my membership in Love Addicts and stay in it longer, so I could like really, 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 really internalized everything that I learned, but also put it to the test while still being in the community, and then get support as I was doing things that were really scary for me. All right, I'll see you in the next video.